I'm going to do a quick testing comparison of these two microphones right here, the Blue Yeti Nano and the Rode NT USB Mini. The Blue Yeti Nano you can pick up for about 80 bucks and the Rode NT USB Mini goes for about 100 bucks. Both of them have great reputations as being a high quality microphone at a relatively low price point, so I wanted to test them out for myself. Now, just to give you a little bit of context, because I think context in case use of the reviewer is very important. I prefer smaller microphones because they're easier to hide in a shot like this. So if you're doing a talking head style video, it's easier when the microphone is smaller to hide the microphone and conceal it. Like, notice right now you don't see my microphone, but that said, it is pretty well placed right in front of me. So that brings me to the next thing. Placement is very important with any microphone. And these two microphones do come with a little stand. There's the Blue Yeti, there's the Rode NT USB Mini, but they are very, very small stands, and I would not consider either one of these stands to get them into acceptable placement for proper audio recording, or I shouldn't say proper, but higher quality audio recording. So let me just show you my setup here. I'm going to test both of these using a desktop gooseneck mount, desktop gooseneck mic stand. Yeah, here, let me just show you the thing that I'm recording on right now. And there we go. That's what I'm going to test these on. I like using this thing, and right now I've got a Fifine K669 microphone on there. It's about a $30 mic, so it's cheaper than the two, cheaper and lower quality than the two I'm going to be testing today. But it does a pretty damn good job. I'll link to a review video on this microphone below, but this is what I'm going to be using for my, I guess, basic commentating as I have been now. But yeah, using this gooseneck desktop mount, or this stand, the microphone is positioned right above my keyboard and just in front of me, so I can use, let me get it into position, there it is out of my shot. I can use my keyboard, I can move my hands all around, I don't have to worry about hitting the microphone, it's pretty much out of place, and it's also basically out of sight. This microphone is still relatively small, like these two microphones that I'm testing. I guess side by side size comparison, we can see the Nano Yeti, the Blue Yeti Nano is a little bit larger. But overall, both of them are smaller microphones, and that's why I picked them instead of going with, like, you know, the full-size NT USB or the full-size Blue Yeti. I do have a full-size Blue Yeti, and I will tell you that thing is like 3 times the size of that. I hate using that microphone. It's actually up for sale right now. So yeah, that is why I prefer the smaller microphones. That is how I tend to, or not how I tend to, but that is how I position my microphones. So if you're going to buy either one of these microphones, I would highly suggest that you spend the roughly $20 to pick up a little stand like this, particularly if you're doing talking head style videos. I know some people like using a boom arm or something, but I don't like having this boom arm, you know, kind of coming in from the side and getting the mic in here. I don't want to have the boom arm. I like having the microphone and my placement mechanism entirely hidden. So I will be testing these two microphones on that gooseneck. So now let's just jump into a test. I'm going to read the same sentence and we can listen to them side by side on the Blue Yeti Nano and the Rode NT USB Mini. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, here we go. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 3, 2, 1, here we go. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now let's do a plosive test on the Blue Yeti Nano. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now let's do a plosive test with the Rode NT USB Mini. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, so I've gone ahead and listened to the audio samples from both of these two microphones, and I have to say, I think the Rode NT USB Mini is the better sounding of these two microphones. While the Blue Yeti Nano did have a nice deep sound behind it, the NT USB did much better with the plosives. And, well, on that note, the Blue Yeti Nano kind of really butchered the plosive. So I would say the better sounding overall of these two microphones is the NT USB. Why don't you guys let me know what you think on the sound quality in the comments below. And while we're on it, I'll throw the K669 by Fifine into the mix here, because this is the microphone that I did the intro on, and I think it sounded pretty damn good. Like, damn near as good as the Blue Yeti Nano. Like, the Blue Yeti Nano had a little bit more bass to the sound, but for $29, a $29 microphone, which is what this is, with an $8 foam cover on it to help with the plosives, I am pretty impressed and continually impressed by this Fifine K669. So let me just kind of talk a little bit about some features on these two microphones here. The Blue Yeti Nano has a little headphone port, and so does the Rode NT USB Mini. In the clips where I was recording the audio samples, I had my headphones plugged in. I've since taken them out. I typically don't record with the headphones in, but for the sample purposes and testing, I was plugging the headphones in for that. They also both have a little adjustable knob on the front. So there it is on this one. And then if we look at the Rode NT USB Mini, let me see what you guys can see. I guess I can't see it, but you should be able to see it. It does have a little knob on the front of it, which that knob adjusts the volume that you hear in the microphone, but not the gain. That is very important. This knob on the Blue Yeti Nano and the same knob on the Rode NT USB Mini does not actually adjust the gain. So any gain adjustments that you do will have to be done in some type of editing software. And then there's the actual mounting mechanism. The NT USB Mini here has this nice little piece which allows to mount it, I would say, aesthetically or ergonomically, both comfortably and both visually on any type of boom arm or gooseneck stand like I have. Whereas with this Blue Yeti Nano, you're limited to something that comes straight in. So if you look back at the video where I was recording a sample on it, I had it basically positioned like this above my keyboard. That is still functional, and if the sound quality was there, I would keep using it like that. But ultimately, the setup I have with the NT USB is much cleaner, much more aesthetically pleasing, and out of the way. And that is going to be the same because of this mounting piece. That'll be the same for any type of mounting system like a boom arm or gooseneck that you use. Yeah, so on that note, that is what I think of these two microphones. If you're looking at a microphone in the $80 to $100 price point, I would say just pony up the extra $20 and get the NT USB Mini. Overall, it is a better quality microphone in build and functionality, and most importantly, in sound quality. If you're on a budget and you really need to save some money, rather than going with the Blue Yeti Nano, I would probably just tell you to go with one of these little Fifine microphones, $30, pick up a little foam cover for it, and this thing sounds pretty damn good. You can see some other videos if you look at my channel, and I'll link to them below this video. You can find some other videos where I've done some other testing and comparisons with this microphone, and this thing continuously impresses me. And in this case here, it was compared to or tested against, not really, I didn't really intend to test it against, but it just kind of worked out that way. It was lined up and tested against two relatively popular budget microphones, and this one being more budget than all of them, I would say it certainly held its own. So what do you guys think on these two microphones, Blue Yeti Nano and the NT USB? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm signing off on this one, guys.